Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioStation.
What's up, LumioStation? Welcome to my top 10 list of my favorite Ghost-Type Pokemon. My actual favorite type is Dark-Type, but since that's already been done, I decided to do the Ghost-Type, which is my second favorite type. Up to Gen 6, there is only 44 Ghost-Type Pokemon in total, so this list was pretty easy to put together. And something I noticed about Ghost-Types is that a lot of them seem to have really awesome Pokédex entries, which leads me to like them more than I originally did. But as always, these top 10s are based on opinion, so don't get upset if your favorite ghost type isn't on the list or higher up on the list. But before we get into this, be sure you leave a like and let me know your list down in the comments below. But enough chit chat. Number 10 on my top 10 favorite ghost type Pokemon list is Giratina. I don't really like legendary Pokemon that much, but Giratina is definitely one of my favorites. Like, being the only legendary with the ghost typing, he's pretty damn cool. And I should probably throw in real quick, like, Rotom isn't a legendary, so don't try and correct me by saying that he is, because he's not. Anyways, because he's legendary, I don't really use Giratina all that often, so it's more his design that I like more than anything really, especially the origin form. Anyways, moving on to number 9, we have Gengar. I already know I'm gonna get a mixed reaction from this, but I never really liked him all that much, for his design at least. He's obviously a really good Pokemon, or else Snappy wouldn't like him, but yeah, I guess Gengar made it to the number 9 spot because of his stats. He's a really hard-hitting special attacker with great speed, and it's fun to use. He also has a Mega Evolution in Generation 6, which I guess is cool too. Although I feel like a certain Pants Lizard deserved it a lot more than Gengar did, but you know, it's okay. I can deal with it. My love for this dude has came about recently, but number 8 is Jellicent. Since I'm a huge fan of bulky Pokemon, this guy fits perfectly. Plus I really like his design, but my favourite thing about him is his Pokédex entry from Black version. The fate of ships and crew that wandered into Jellicent's habitat, all sunken, all lost, all vanished. I just love that. It's like, don't fuck with Jellicent. Alright, so coming in at number 7 is Chandelure. I've always liked Chandelure because he's relatively fast and he's a powerful special attacker, just like Gengar. Although he isn't as fast as Gengar, you can just throw in a Choice Scarf and you know, he's pretty hard to stop. But enough competitive blabber, I really like his design too. He's based on a Chandelure and is fire ghost type, which is pretty awesome typing. And the final thing I love about him is his Pokédex entry from Black and White. Being consumed in Chandelure's flame burns up the spirit, leaving a body behind. Again, it's another one of those things where it's like, don't fuck with Chandelure. Alright, so number 6 on my list is Cofagrigus. I did mention before that I love bulky Pokemon, and that's exactly what Cofagrigus is. He can take a lot of hits and deal quite a bit of damage back, which is awesome. The only thing about him is that he's very slow, but it makes him perfect for Trick Room teams. But that's not the only reason why I like him. He's got a really cool design, and yet again his Pokédex entry is pretty dark, and I love it. Grave robbers who mistake them for real Koffings and get too close end up trapped inside their bodies. That is cool and all, but there's one thing I wish Game Freak did with Cofagrigus that they didn't actually end up doing in 5th gen or 6th gen, I guess. I mean, I don't know how they would go about doing it. They could make it a Mega Evolution, but I really wish that Cofagrigus had this offensive form where his mummy came out of the tomb, or, coffin. I think that would be really cool, but that's for another video. Alright, so halfway through, number 5 on my list is Froslass. I've always liked Froslass since it first came out in Gen 4, and it was actually one of my mascots on one of my previous YouTube channels. But yeah, Froslass may not have the best use competitively, but it's got really nice design and it's just a cool Pokemon overall. And no, I wasn't trying to be punny over the fact that she's an ice type. Okay, maybe I was, but yeah. Coming in at number 4 is Rotom. I only really like him because you can change forms, and I assume that's how everyone feels about Rotom. I don't think anyone legitimately likes the actual regular Rotom form. But my favourite Rotom form is Rotom Heat, I guess, if that means anything to you guys. But I mean, other than that, I guess Rotom's pretty cool. I mean, being able to change forms and stuff, that's just badass. That's probably the vaguest reason for liking a Pokemon, but it's really only because you can change forms. Okay, so coming into the top 3, we have Dusclops. Alright, like I've said for the 3rd time now, I love bulky Pokemon, and that's exactly what Dusclops is, especially while holding the Eviolite. But other than competitive use, I just think he's a really cool Pokemon in general, with a badass design and a badass Pokédex entry. Its body is entirely hollow. When it opens its mouth, it sucks everything in as if it were a black hole. But I can't even lie, when Gen 4 came around and Dusclops got an evolution, I was kind of upset, because personally I don't really like Dusknoir, but I appreciate his existence because without him, Dusclops wouldn't be able to use the Eviolite and he wouldn't be as good, and yeah. So number 2 on my top 10 favorite ghost types list is Sableye. I've always liked Sableye even before Gen 5, which is when he actually became good competitively, because he got a new ability, Prankster. But yeah, I always remember when I was a kid, I would pick up a Sableye at level 12 in Pokemon Emerald version whenever I needed to face Norman, or your dad, you know, whatever you want to call him. And I'd teach it Rock Smash, and because none of Norman's Pokemon could touch him, I would just whittle away their health with Rock Smash, lowering their defense and just making it easier. And it was just fun. I just loved it. I just love his design, and I love how much of a troll he is, even before Gen 5 came out. But with that brings us to number 1 on my top 10 favorite ghost type list, and number 1 is Bayonet. Bayonet has never really been good competitively, so that's not the reason why I like it so much. I just enjoy its design, and its Pokédex entry makes it just even better. An abandoned plush doll became this Pokemon. They are said to live in garbage dumps and wander about in search of the children that threw it away. It's so dark, I love it. But something happened in X and Y that made my love for Bayonet bigger than it was before. Bayonet got a Mega Evolution, and as much as I would prefer a regular evolution, I really love its design, I love its ability, which is Prankster by the way. It's still not all that good competitively, but it's fun to troll with, and it's definitely my favourite Mega Evolution, and my favourite ghost type, period. But yeah, that's pretty much my list. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and let me know your top 10 list of ghost types down below in the comments and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching.